2019 will be etched in Australia's memory as a year marked by a string of high-profile crimes that shook the nation. The frequency and severity of these incidents were unprecedented, leaving an indelible mark on the collective consciousness of the country. From violent assaults to complex fraud cases, the headlines painted a grim picture of the criminal landscape. Each new report seemed to bring with it a fresh wave of fear and uncertainty, as citizens grappled with the reality of living in a society where such acts of violence and deceit were becoming alarmingly common. These incidents not only brought immense suffering to victims and their families, but also raised critical questions about community safety, law enforcement, and the justice system. The emotional toll on those directly affected was immeasurable, and the ripple effects were felt throughout communities, prompting urgent discussions on how to prevent such tragedies in the future. This essay delves into some of the most significant criminal cases that gripped Australia in 2019, exploring their details, impact, and the expert opinions surrounding them. By examining these cases, we aim to understand the broader implications for society and the measures that can be taken to enhance public safety. The year began with a sense of unease as reports of violent crimes, including homicides and assaults, dominated the news cycle. Each incident seemed to be more shocking than the last, creating a pervasive atmosphere of fear and uncertainty. As months passed, Australians witnessed a chilling array of offences, from drug trafficking rings operating with impunity to elaborate financial scams that left victims emotionally and financially devastated. The audacity and scale of these crimes were staggering, highlighting significant gaps in the country's ability to prevent and respond to such threats. The sheer scale and nature of these crimes sparked widespread fear and anxiety, prompting calls for action from both the public and authorities. Community meetings and public protests became common, as citizens demanded more effective measures to combat crime and ensure their safety. Amidst this climate of fear, law enforcement agencies across the country worked tirelessly to investigate these crimes, apprehend perpetrators, and bring them to justice. The dedication and bravery of these officers were commendable, yet the challenges they faced were immense, often requiring innovative approaches and collaboration across different jurisdictions. The courts grappled with complex legal battles as prosecutors sought to hold offenders accountable for their actions. Each trial was a test of the legal system's ability to deliver justice, with high stakes for both the victims and the accused. However, the impact of these crimes extended far beyond the courtroom, leaving lasting scars on individuals, families, and communities. The emotional and psychological damage was profound, with many struggling to find a sense of normalcy in the aftermath of such traumatic events. The year 2019 served as a stark reminder of the ever-present threat of crime in society. It highlighted the need for constant vigilance and the importance of a robust and responsive criminal justice system. It underscored the need for a multifaceted approach to address the root causes of criminal behavior, strengthen law enforcement capabilities, and provide adequate support to victims. Community outreach programs, enhanced police training, and support groups for victims were just some of the initiatives that gained renewed focus in the wake of these events. While the wheels of justice turned slowly, the pursuit of accountability and the quest for a safer society remained paramount. The collective efforts of law enforcement, the judiciary, and the community were crucial in navigating this challenging period and working towards a future where such crimes are less frequent and less devastating. One of the most high-profile cases that sent shockwaves across Australia was the murder of Israeli student Aia Massawe in Melbourne. This tragic event not only highlighted the vulnerability of women in public spaces, but also brought to light the urgent need for systemic changes to ensure their safety. Walking home from a night out, Massawe was brutally attacked and killed, a crime that was as senseless as it was horrifying. The details of the attack were harrowing, and the community was left grappling with the reality of such violence occurring in their midst, sparking outrage and prompting nationwide vigils for the young woman. These vigils were not just acts of mourning, but also powerful demonstrations of solidarity and a collective call for change. People from all walks of life came together to honor Aia's memory and to demand safer streets for everyone.
This tragic incident ignited a debate about women's safety in public spaces. It became a catalyst for discussions on how society can better protect its most vulnerable members. The conversation extended beyond just physical safety to include the broader cultural and societal changes needed to address gender-based violence, and led to calls for increased security measures. Communities began to advocate for more street lighting, better public transportation options, and the installation of security cameras in high-risk areas. There was also a push for more police presence in neighborhoods and public spaces, as well as community-led initiatives to promote safety and awareness.
Another disturbing case that gripped the nation was the disappearance of William Tyrrell, a 3-year-old boy who vanished from his foster grandmother's backyard in 2014. The case captured the hearts of Australians and became one of the most extensive search efforts in the country's history. Despite extensive searches and ongoing investigations, William's whereabouts remain unknown. The community's hope for his safe return has never waned, and the case continues to be a focal point for discussions on child safety and the effectiveness of search and rescue operations. The search efforts included aerial surveillance, police divers scouring bodies of water, and detectives meticulously examining every piece of evidence. The case has seen numerous leads and theories, but none have led to a definitive answer. The mystery of William's disappearance remains unsolved, leaving a lasting impact on the community and the nation.
The case continues to haunt Australians, with renewed appeals for information and theories surrounding his disappearance. Every year, on the anniversary of his disappearance, the community comes together to remember William and to keep the hope alive that one day answers will be found. Public service announcements and missing person flyers are still circulated, and police continue to conduct searches in rural and suburban areas. The case has also led to increased awareness and improvements in protocols for handling missing child cases, ensuring that no stone is left unturned in the search for answers.
In a case that exposed the dark underbelly of corporate greed, the Royal Commission into Misconduct in the banking, superannuation, and financial services industry uncovered widespread malpractice and unethical behaviour within some of Australia's most powerful financial institutions. This inquiry was a watershed moment for the financial sector, revealing the extent to which corporate greed had compromised the integrity of financial services. The Royal Commission hearings were a sobering look at the practices that had gone unchecked for years. The inquiry revealed shocking instances of customers being charged fees for services they never received, highlighting the systemic issues within the industry.
The inquiry revealed shocking instances of customers being charged fees for services they never received, being given financial advice that was not in their best interests, and even having their insurance claims unfairly denied. These revelations painted a grim picture of an industry that had lost sight of its ethical obligations. Being given financial advice that was not in their best interests, often leading to financial hardship and distress for many individuals and families. The unethical practices were not isolated incidents, but rather indicative of a broader culture of exploitation and negligence, and even having their insurance claims unfairly denied. This not only caused financial strain, but also emotional distress for those who found themselves battling against powerful institutions for what was rightfully theirs. This scandal eroded public trust in the financial sector and led to calls for greater regulation and accountability. The public outcry was significant, with many demanding that the government take swift action to prevent such misconduct from happening again. The Royal Commission's findings have since prompted legislative changes and reforms aimed at restoring integrity and trust in the financial services industry.
The impact of these crimes extended far beyond the immediate victims and their families, creating a ripple effect that touched every corner of Australian society. The emotional and psychological toll was immense as communities grappled with the reality of such heinous acts. These events sent ripples of fear, anger, and distrust throughout Australian society. People began to question their own safety and the safety of their loved ones, leading to a pervasive sense of unease. The murder of Aya Masarwe, in particular, sparked a national conversation about violence against women. Her tragic death became a symbol of the broader issue, prompting widespread outrage and calls for change. This incident highlighted the urgent need for greater safety measures in public spaces. Public demonstrations and rallies were held across the country, with people demanding action from both local and national leaders.
Women across the country shared their own experiences of harassment and assault, bringing to light the pervasive nature of gender-based violence. These personal stories resonated deeply, fostering a sense of solidarity and a collective call for change. The movement gained momentum as more women came forward, highlighting the need for systemic changes to protect women and ensure their safety in all aspects of life.
The disappearance of William Tyrrell struck a chord with parents and caregivers, reminding them of the vulnerability of children. The case brought to the forefront the fears that many parents harbor about their children's safety. This tragic event led to heightened awareness and vigilance among parents, who became more protective and cautious in their daily routines. The case fueled anxieties about child safety, prompting discussions about the measures needed to protect children from harm. Communities came together to support one another and share strategies for keeping their children safe. As a result, some parents took additional steps to ensure their children's safety, such as installing security cameras and accompanying their children to school. These actions reflected a broader societal shift towards increased vigilance and precaution.
The mystery surrounding William's disappearance continues to fuel speculation and heartache. The ongoing search efforts and media coverage keep the case in the public eye, serving as a constant reminder of the devastating impact of such crimes. Memorials and vigils for missing children have become a poignant symbol of the collective grief and determination to find answers. These gatherings provide a space for communities to come together, support one another, and keep hope alive.
The Royal Commission into Misconduct in the Banking Industry revealed shocking truths about the financial sector. The hearings exposed widespread malpractice and unethical behavior, shaking public trust in institutions that were once considered pillars of the Australian economy. The revelations left many Australians feeling betrayed and vulnerable. People began to question the integrity of the financial system and the adequacy of regulatory oversight. The scandal also raised concerns about the need for stronger penalties to deter corporate wrongdoing. The public's reaction was one of outrage and a demand for accountability and justice. Protests and calls for reform echoed across the nation as Australians sought to rebuild trust in their financial institutions. The scandal underscored the importance of transparency, accountability, and ethical conduct in maintaining a stable and fair economy. Criminologists and social scientists have offered various perspectives on the contributing factors to the crimes that plagued Australia in 2019. Some experts pointed to socio-economic factors such as poverty, unemployment, and lack of access to education and opportunities as breeding grounds for criminal behavior and societal unrest.
They argued that addressing these systemic issues is crucial in preventing crime at its root and fostering a safer community.
Others emphasized the significant role of mental health and substance abuse in driving criminal activity.
They highlighted the need for increased investment in mental health services and drug rehabilitation programs to support individuals struggling with these issues and reduce the likelihood of them resorting to crime.
Furthermore, experts stressed the importance of early intervention programs, particularly for young people at risk of becoming involved in criminal activity.
They advocated for initiatives that provide mentorship, life skills training, and educational support to steer youth away from crime and towards positive pathways in life.